Welcome to the full free tutorial of how to film, edit, and upload your YouTube video just using your phone.
I'm Sean Canon.
And I'm Heather Torres.
And this is Think Media. And in this very video, we're gonna be taking you through step by step our entire process for creating content for YouTube on your phone, whether you have an Android or an iPhone. And
we're gonna be answering your top questions from the Think Media community on each of these steps.
So grab your phone, grab any accessories you have, get something to drink, get a journal, and buckle your seatbelt, because we are getting started right now.
You gotta just press record.
To get started with video, all you need is your smartphone. And in this video, we're gonna be breaking down how to shoot a video for YouTube with this.
Now, we're using the iPhone 8, but if you have an Android or any other smartphone, you're gonna get massive value from this video, so let's get into it.
Hey, what's up? Sean Canon here.
Heather Torres here.
And this is Think Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video and social media. And we're so excited because we're in a 4-part series. This is part 1 of how to create YouTube videos with your smartphone. Part 1 is gonna be all about shooting the video. Then we're gonna do thumbnails in part 2, how to edit in part 3, and then finally how to upload it and optimize the video in part 4.
Now, you know, when I first started on YouTube, all I had was a smartphone. I was not into gear. All of that was really intimidating to me. So I just want to encourage you that this video is really going to walk you step by step how to start creating content with the phone that you already have.
Tip number 1 is before you lock down your shot and set up any gear, put your phone in selfie mode and get a feel for the room.
Yeah, I took the phone, like Sean said, selfie mode, walked around because I wanted to see what the background was gonna look like with me in the shot. Now, you might think that we do this really well at Think Media, but it takes us a couple times. So you'll see I set up the shot first and it didn't quite work out. So I wanted the tripod to be about an arm's length away and I wanted the background to not be too busy. So I moved around the room and then finally locked in the right shot.
Tip number 2 is get your gear ready. Now here's the cool thing. You can start with your smartphone by just putting it on a pile of books using your on-camera microphone, but there's a few pieces of gear that we recommend to really level up your smartphone content. And that is a lighting kit. The lighting kit we have for this shoot was under $100. And then also a microphone, and if you've got your dongle, then the microphone just plugs right into your phone, makes it sound better, and Heather was able to clip that to her shirt. And then finally, just a tripod and a smartphone mount. And you could get all of that gear for right around $150 here in the US. So if you want to see links to any of those specific items, we'll post those in the description below.
Tip number 3 is to lock down your shot. Now, there's always the dilemma, do you do the selfie mode or do you do the normal camera? We suggest that you do the normal camera. And here's the best thing. I know I thought when I sat down, I can't see myself, but don't worry. Do a test shot first where you click the button, you sit down, you say something so you can test your audio, you can check the background, make sure everything's in frame, it looks nice. And then when you get started, everything's good to go.
Yeah, and the reason you want to do that is because the normal camera on most phones, like the majority, is so much superior to the selfie camera. But here's the thing, you can still use the selfie camera if you want, but avoid this mistake. A lot of people, when they're having selfie mode, they look at themselves and not the lens. Therefore, people can see it on the YouTube video. So do your best to look at that little lens on your phone, and that way you'll be making eye contact with the viewer.
Tip number 4 is to lock in your video settings before you start to shoot. Now, most cameras on your phone will do 1080p, which is great, and we recommend choosing that setting, but if you have the option for 4K, choose 4K. So in this video, we're doing 4K at 30 frames per second.
Yeah, and later in this series, we're gonna be going through how to edit that. And what's cool is on an iPhone 8, which is the phone we're using for this series, you'll be able to edit 4K easy. But here's the other thing. You can always shoot in 4K, but then later down process it to 1080p, and it'll still look better on YouTube, helping you get more views and build your brand faster. Psst, hey, I hope you're getting value out of this video, and if you are, can you smash the like button? All right, let's get right back into the tips. Rosie!
Tip number 5 is to deliver the content. Now, before I even sat down to record the video, there's 2 things that I did. The first thing is I researched what I wanted my video to be about. So I didn't just set up all my gear, sit down, stare at the camera and go, what am I gonna record? No, I actually knew what the video was going to be about. The second thing I did was I took the content that I knew I wanted to have in the video and I broke it down into points. That just helps me record the video better and it allows my audience to be able to follow along with the video all the way to the end. Then what I did was press record. Now I walked through the entire video and just like you, I stumbled. I had to stop and restart, and that's okay. You're not gonna get it right the first time, but just keep going.
All right, and now that all the footage is on the phone, it's ready for the edit. But there's actually one more step before that, and that is creating a great thumbnail for YouTube. So if you want to watch part 2 in this series, you can click or tap the YouTube card and we'll post a link to it in the description below as well.
And if you want to watch the full video that I did on my iPhone for this video, you can check it out over on my homeschool channel and we'll post that on the YouTube card or in the description below.
We are back and ready to answer some questions about the video we just watched, and a bunch of questions came in about lighting, and specifically if the image doesn't look very good because of low light and how to actually set up the lights right. So let's remember that one of the best ways to get good looking video out of any camera is to actually invest in some lighting. If you can sit in front of a window, that's good, but that's why we recommended a softbox kit that's sitting behind us so that you can actually improve the lighting in your videos. You know, if the image quality is grainy or too sharp or looking weird, you definitely want to invest in some lights. And you know, you don't have to get a big kit. There's actually a $20 ring light that you can just attach to the selfie mode of your camera. And we're going to actually link a lot of resources in this video. So we'll put them in the YouTube description in the resource guide numbered by when we talk about them. But then the other question is, how do you actually set up your lighting? So typically with soft boxes like that, you want them kind of off to the right side and the left side, raised up a little bit and pointing down at you. You don't really want the light shooting up. That's Blair Witch Project. You don't really want it straight on. That can sometimes be intense. You go a little bit higher and you point down with your softbox lighting. And then you don't necessarily need each side to be at the same distance. Sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of lighting on one side. In fact, right now we have a window on this side and then a bright ring light on the other side, which gives a little bit of contrast to the shot. So here's a big tip on lighting. Experiment until you feel good with it. Do some test shots, do some experiments, and then we also have some more resources about this.
Yeah, Nolan from the Think Media team did an excellent video all about how to set up 3-point lighting. So if you want to understand more about where you should be putting the lights and how you get that light on your face right or behind you, definitely check that in the YouTube card and we'll link that in the description below. Now, Mackenzie also asked, how do you get the right angle? And I feel you because this is something I had to practice too. Now, if you're down below and you're shooting up, it's not really the most flattering shot for your body. But if you're right straight on, this actually isn't the best shot either. You want to go up a little bit and angle down. It makes your body a little more miniaturized, helping those features out.
And remember, just experiment and test your final shot and see how it looks. It's also going to affect the elements in the background. So a lot of this comes with just trial and error and practice. And so test your camera at different heights and angles until you love the way it looks.
All right, so Tere asks, how do you get the blurry background? Now, here's the thing. With the iPhone or with the smartphones, your sensor size isn't actually large enough to get the blurry background effect that you see in a lot of really cool videos. But here's some tricks that I've tried. So you want to be the object closest to the camera, and you want to have your background furthest away. That allows it to be softer, but not necessarily blurred.
Yeah, and here's the deal. If you actually want to eventually achieve some other cinematic looks and blurry background looks, you may want to think about investing in a camera. You know, one of our favorite cameras here at Think Media is the Canon M50. There's been some incredible deals on it, and again, we'll list some of those resources in the resource guide. In fact, if you haven't downloaded our Think Media Gear Guide, then it's a great resource where we cover all the different accessories, not only for your smartphone, but also some of our top camera recommendations. So actually check out this spot.
Ready to get started on YouTube, but not sure what gear you need? Get your copy of the free Ultimate Video Gear Guide, where we share the best cameras, lighting, and audio setup for every YouTube budget. Visit thinkgearguide.com to get started today. So Debbie asks, what's the best way to get great audio? And step number one is actually, if you're gonna start with just the in-camera microphone, you wanna make sure that you are close because that microphone's gonna pick up a lot. So you wanna make sure that you're talking directly to the camera and then it can pick up your audio.
Yeah, also if you're in a smaller room that has lower ceilings and carpet, we're actually in kind of a big room here, so we're using a different kind of microphone to help us. And that would be our next tip, is that you would use some kind of an external microphone. You saw in the video that we just watched a little $20 clip-on Boya mic, but you also can check out something like this Takstar microphone right here. It's a $25 shotgun mic. I've got the dongle connected to it. And then you can plug that right into your lightning port, or if you have a headphone jack, you could plug that in there as well. And obviously, you might have some questions about some of these smartphone accessories. So we actually have a whole video out about this. We'll link that up on the YouTube card as well as post it in the resource guide.
Okay, so we'll answer some more questions after this next part. And I'm excited for this because we're going to get into how to create a thumbnail using your smartphone. But if you're getting value out of this video, make sure to smash that like button. And now let's get into part 2. One of the most important elements of growing your YouTube channel is creating great thumbnails, but you don't need a fancy camera or a computer to get started. All you need is your iPhone. So in this video, I'll be breaking down my 3 easy steps for creating thumbnails with just your phone. Hey, it's Heather Torres here with Think Media, helping you build your influence with online video and social media. And on this channel, we do tech gear reviews, strategy videos, and tutorial videos just like this. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So now I know when you get started on YouTube, it can be scary actually having to figure out cameras and figure out the editing software to just create a simple thumbnail. And so I wanna walk you through the 3-step process that I use when I create my thumbnails using my phone. So let's jump into the tips. One of the first major points of understanding how to make a great thumbnail is really not even using the phone yet. You want to think about starting with the end in mind. So you want to think about what type of emotion should you have in your face when you're making your thumbnail? Or are you going to have words on the side that you need to be pointing to? Or where are you going to be looking at? So before you even get started making the thumbnail, really think about the end in mind of what you want that thumbnail to look like. You know, on YouTube, the type of thumbnails that get the most clicks are the ones that have emotions. Yeah, it's great to smile sometimes in a thumbnail, but really when you evoke emotion, when you're pointing or when you're looking towards words that actually express what they should click on, that's the start of a great thumbnail. The second part of the process is that you want to actually take a lot of pictures. I usually take about 10 pictures every time I'm going to do a thumbnail. And the reason for that is because you want to make sure you find the right one, the perfect picture. And if you only take 1 or 2 and you get to the editing process, you're going to be disappointed because you don't have the right thumbnail that's going to get those clicks and grow your channel. So here's some tips you want to keep in mind. I have the camera right in front of me, but I'm over actually to the side because I want to use this side to put words on my thumbnail. I also have the camera about arm's distance away, and the reason for that is I want to make sure that I don't have too much in the background. I want it really to be my face so you get the emotion that's happening. Now, I'm using an iPhone 8. I have a tripod. We'll link all of the gear, really the tripod, down below, as well as the apps that we're using, but I do have it on a tripod. Now, you can also do this in selfie and have it and hold the phone, or like I have it here, I have it set up so I can just set a timer. Now on the phone itself, I actually want to move it to portrait mode. Again, I have the iPhone 8, it has portrait mode, and the reason for that is because it instantly gives me a blurry background. I don't want to do a lot of editing to this photo, so I already want the blurry background to have the effect. In order to take the picture, I want to put it on the timer mode. Now it can be off 3 or 10 seconds. I'm going to choose 3 seconds, and I'm going to have to hustle back to that couch so I can take this photo. There we go, I took a photo. Now we'll do that about 10 times through and then we'll get into the editing process. So now that we have the photo that we're choosing, we're gonna go into the editing process. And I like to break this up into 2 phases. The first phase is actually editing and cropping the photo. So let's do that. Open up your photo app, you can get right to the photo that you want to choose and you hit the edit button. Then you go into the 3 dots and you have all of these different filters that you can choose from. I really like the vivid filter because it really brightens up the photo. When you're thinking about thumbnails, you don't want dull and dark, you want bright and vibrant. So I like to hit the vivid. Now I also am going to click the crop button, and then with that, I'm gonna click it on the side and click 16:9. That's gonna actually crop the photo in for me so that I have the right photo. I'm just gonna move it around so that I can get my face in this 16:9 and get my fingers in it. But again, I want a lot of space on the side to put the text, and I want my face and the fingers to be pointing directly so that that's what someone looks at. And you're gonna hit done. The second part of the phase is to go into the Phonto app. I like the Phonto app because it's a free app that you can add text to. So we're gonna go right into the Phonto app for Android and iPhone. You're gonna click the little camera button and you're going to go to Photo Album and you're gonna import that last photo. Hit done. And now you're gonna click right on the screen and it's gonna say add text. This is where you're gonna add the text, and I like to do less than 5 words on a thumbnail. So I'm gonna choose 3 words. This is a video that I created about what I wish I knew before I started homeschooling. So I'm gonna put on the thumbnail before you start. I'm gonna separate that up into 3 different words, and you can play around with the text and the font and the colors, and you can move that around on your screen. I'm gonna adjust it around. You can add a background onto it if you'd like to. So you can go into style, you can hit background, and you can put a border around it. I like to always think when I'm creating thumbnails that someone on a phone is gonna look at it. So I want the words to be large enough for them to read. I want it to be clear text so they can read it easily. And sometimes I like to play around with the color. Background. All right, I like how this thumbnail looks, so I'm gonna go ahead and save that to my camera roll. And now the thumbnail is done.
Man, video 2 was fire, but we have some questions to answer. Heather, let's go.
William says, simple, which app do you use? Now, in this tutorial that you just saw, I was using a free app called Phonto. Another app that I actually recommend that if you want to take it further is actually investing in an app. So ones that I like are Canva, PicMonkey, Bazzart, and Photorama.
And of course, don't forget to check out all of the resources listed below because there's a lot packed in to this video. Flying Red Tail Hawk asks, how do you make the words look nicer? You know, when it comes to your thumbnails, there's a couple tips that we have, and that is you really want to avoid fonts that are too busy, that are usually too kind of cursive or calligraphy. Now, maybe you want to use something like that for style, but remember, clarity is everything on YouTube. You want the words to be clear, you want them to pop off the thumbnail if you use words at all. So I recommend using minimal fonts, bold text fonts, and also, if possible, put a box or rectangle behind the font so that the words really pop off. And that's also maybe something to consider is that if you're not gonna put a rectangle behind it, shoot on a background that's not very busy. Maybe you take a thumbnail shoot where you take a photo of you, but you're on a plain wall or a nice colored wall, or even like those curtains back there would be kind of nice because they're simple and you could put the text over top of those. So just be intentional in the thumbnail creation and the fonts you choose.
Yeah, when we're doing thumbnails, we're not just selecting an image from the video file, we're intentional about the thumbnail because remember, getting someone to click is all about that thumbnail and that title. So you wanna make it enticing for them to go further with you in the video. Rachel asks, I love Canva. Is there a way to add thumbnails from mobile or does it all have to be done on desktop? Well, Rachel, that question and answer is coming up later on in this video, but now we need to get into editing. Let's edit your entire YouTube video on your phone in this next step in the tutorial.
Here we go.
So you've recorded a video with your phone and now you need to edit it for YouTube. Well, in this video, I'm gonna walk you through my easy step-by-step process for editing your video with just your iPhone. Hey, I'm Heather Torres with Think Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video and social media. And on this channel, we do tech gear reviews, strategy videos, and tutorials just like this. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, this video is a video in a 4-part video series where we're helping you learn how to shoot, edit, and upload your videos directly from your iPhone. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it in the YouTube card and down in the description box below. But in this video, I'm going to walk you through editing on your phone. So let's jump into the video. Okay, so I'm on my phone screen and we're going to use the app InShot. I like the app InShot because there's a paid version, but there's also a free version, and that's the one we're going to use for this tutorial. Now, you're going to want to upload your video file. You click video, then you click new. When you click new, it's going to bring up your album. You're going to import or upload the video file that you've created with your phone. I've already done that here, so I'm going to click on that video. Now we are going to head into the editing process. I like this because there are 3 different options you can use for editing your video. First, you can trim off the front and back of the video. You can also cut sections out from the middle of the video, or you can use this tool called the split tool. I like this tool because it has this option for multi-split, and that allows you to go through when you know the time code for your video of where you need to cut out your mistakes. That allows you to go through and make all of your edits in one shot. Now, if you click the button right here, it says if you want to revert back if you made a mistake, it's actually going to remove all of the splits from that edit. So I like to do a few at a time, go through, watch the video, and then go back through and make more multi-splits. When you're done, click the checkbox. And now when you hit the video file, you can see that you have multiple files that you can go through. And if you need to take one out, you press delete, and now you have the full file. What I also love about this feature is that at the end, when you get to the end, if you want to click on it again and just go back into trim, you can then cut off the end of one of those sections that you've edited. The next step in the editing process is to add on our text. So you click the text button, and I like to add text to be able to add social proof. So if I want to put in my handle for Instagram, let's say, I can grab that and I can actually move it around the screen. I can click enter and then the text shows up at the top. I can make that go out, or I can have that be really short. Then there's the sticker function. Click the sticker function, and if you want to get like your Instagram, you can click Instagram. It pulls it up right there, and then you can put it right next to it. Move that around on your screen, and then you can actually move that to be in the same alignment with the text. Now, if you click on the arrow, I like that you can go to the end of the video clip if you want that to show the entire time. So when the video ends, or you can go all the way over and you can allow that to only be for a certain amount of time. You can also split it. So if you want to cut it here and you want to delete this section, you can do that. So you have a lot of editing options in here. Now I would go through and I would make title cards for all of my points in my video. Now, if you want your text to move in and out, you have the option of being able to move that text. So you can have it come in and out. You can have it move from the side. You can time how long it takes. So if I wanted it to go in and out like that, you have a lot of options of how that can come into the frame. And that's what I would do for my text. Now, one option you have is to actually add in an intro card. So if I wanted to go in here in my edit and I wanted to split at this time code, and now I want to add in a intro, I could go in and I can select that video file. Now I already have an intro pre-made, but this is not necessary. This is just an option if you want to add an intro to your video. The next thing we're going to do is add our end card. Now, if you want to create an end card here on InShot, all you need to do is click the arrow at the very top and you're going to save this file as a draft. Then you're going to go into Photo, and now I need to crop this into a 16:9 so that it can be the end card for my YouTube video. Now I like to just add an image on here. And then over in the blank space is where 2 videos on my end card are going to show up on YouTube. So I keep it at 16:9, and let's say I want to put on here, subscribe. All right, I'm done with that. And now I want to save this image. Okay, now I want to add the outro. So I'm going to go to the end of the video. I'm going to click the button that says add. I'm going to go to photos and I'm going to add that end card. Now this end card is 5 seconds long. What's great about YouTube is that your end cards can be 20 seconds long. So I want to use all of that time that I can. So I'm going to press the copy, 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 and now I have an end card that will play for 20 seconds. The next step is I want to add music to my intro and my outro. So I'm going to scroll back through, and there is actually a wide selection of music here on InShot. So I'm going to hit tracks, and you can go through and listen to all the different types of music. You can also import from your iTunes, and they do have different music that you can use on here, and I really like it. So I'm going to add this one. Now in the music file itself, you can play with the volume. So I want it to be pretty low, and I can have it fade out. And I only want it to go to my intro. All right, so I want this to go to the end of my intro. And so I'm gonna cut it right there. I'm gonna split it off. I'm gonna delete that side. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna click volume again, and I'm gonna make sure that's just really low so you can hear me, but you do get a little bit of that music. Then I'm gonna scroll to the end of my video. And right at the end of my video, when that end card starts, I'm going to add that same track on there. And I'm just going to split it here. And because I'm not talking during that time, I'm just going to keep the volume at a normal volume level. Now, what I also like is that you can add sound effects. So if you wanted to go through when you say like subscribe or click like, you have the option to add in different effects. So if I wanted to add in like a popular bubble effect, I can have the bubble effect happen when I say hit subscribe and the bubble sound would come on. So you can add different sound effects to help allow your videos to come alive more. And now that we have our full video edited, we are ready to go. We are going to just save and export that, and that is going to export into your album.
All right, so now your video is ready to be uploaded to YouTube. I like to keep my videos really simple, but if you wanted to, you could add B-roll or additional photos or even transition cards. But like I said, I like to keep mine really simple so I can get the content out there.
Man, mega video for the win. If you're getting value so far, smash the like button and let us know in the comments if you've made it this far. And we also want to pass the question off to you. How long have you been posting videos on YouTube so far? Maybe you haven't started a channel yet, or maybe let us know how many videos you've posted. But we have some questions to answer all about editing. So Heather, let's go.
All right, so the first one comes from TMA, and she says, what editing software do you recommend for iPhone? Now, in the tutorial that you just watched, I was using InShot, but a couple other ones that I've invested in that I really like are LumaFusion, the 2.0 version. Also, KineMaster is a great editing software, and there's also iMovie. You have an iPhone, that comes directly on your phone, and you can do some great editing with that software.
Steven asks, what's the best app for Android for editing? Heather.
So the best one that I like is KineMaster. And the reason I like this is because it has a lot of functionality as an editor. So you have advanced audio controls and video controls, and you can layer different files. So you can have your B-roll over your A-roll. You can also do layers of audio. So if you want to have music and then sound effects, you can do that. Now they have a couple different ways. This is a purchased app if you want to get rid of the watermark, but you can get it for $5 per month or $42 for a year. Currently right now is what they're offering on an Android.
So check out the resource guide if you want to see details about that in the description below with all these videos and softwares and apps and things like that.
Angie Visuals left a comment, and a part really stuck out to me. He said, I keep overthinking how the video should look and delay my upload. Oh, I can relate to this so much, and I want you to know you're not alone. If you're a creator out there and you felt anxious and overwhelmed and really feeling like, I just don't want to put this out there because you're afraid of the judgment that could happen with the video or how perfect the video isn't, that's okay. I still feel like that, and I've been creating here on the platform for 5 years. And I want you to know that it's important to just get the video out there. Yes, we wanna make sure that we're editing it right. And yes, we wanna make sure that we're filming right. But at some point, when you are finished with that edit, you just have to upload that video and get it published. Because like Sean says, YouTube is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so we wanna encourage you to punch perfectionism in the face and get that video uploaded.
Yes, and with that, that actually brings us to part 4 in this series, which is all about now how from your phone, exporting it, uploading it to YouTube, connecting the thumbnail to it. So if you haven't smashed like yet and you've been getting value, hit the like button and let's just dive into part 4 right now, and then we'll do Q&A right after.
So how do you upload videos from your iPhone to YouTube, and how do you optimize it so you get more views? Well, in this video, I'm gonna be walking you through our quick step-by-step process coming up. Hey, I'm Heather Torres with Think Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for growing your influence with online video and social media. And on this channel, we do tech gear reviews, strategy videos, as well as tutorial videos just like this. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, this video is part 4 of a video series all about how to shoot, edit, and upload from your phone. So if you missed part 1, 2, and 3, we'll link it up in the YouTube card and down in the description box below. All right, so you have your video and you're ready to upload it to YouTube. Now, you do need the YouTube app, but you also need the YouTube Studio app. So make sure you have both of those ready to go for this tutorial. All right, so you have your video and you're ready to go. You wanna make sure that you have a battery that is charged or you're plugged in and you are connected to Wi-Fi. Now, let's get your video uploaded to YouTube. So the first thing you wanna do is open up your YouTube app. Up at the top, you'll see a little camera. Click that, and then you're gonna click Video. You're gonna find the video that you wanna upload. Here's the video that I want. And it's gonna allow you to have the option to edit. Now we've already edited our video, so you're already set on that. And then you're gonna click Next. Now you wanna make sure that you give the title of your video and then the description. Now what I like to do is I like to go into my notes and I pre-put in the description that I wanna have. That allows me to have all of the links that I need and the description and any calls to action that I want to have inside of that section. So I'm just gonna copy that. I'm gonna copy the whole thing. I'm gonna go back to my YouTube app. That video's in there. I'm gonna paste that into my description. So there you go, everything's in there. I'm gonna title this. This is called 5 Things I Wish I All right, and you wanna make sure that you upload this as unlisted. So you have the option of public, unlisted, and private. Now I like to upload it as unlisted because I still have a few more things that I need to do to this video and I don't want it to go live to the public yet. So you wanna click unlisted and then you can click upload. Now you wanna give your video just a little time to go through the process and not close down this window. So you wanna leave this window open while your video is preparing and processing.
2,000 years later.
All right, so our video is now uploaded to YouTube unlisted, so the public is not seeing it yet. And now we need to switch over to the YouTube Studio app. So you're gonna go into the YouTube Studio app and you're going to then pull up the video, click in the video. You're gonna click that video and then you're gonna see up at the right, you'll see that little pencil. Click that pencil because now this is where we're gonna upload our thumbnail. Click Custom Thumbnail, All Photos. I'm gonna grab my thumbnail, I'm gonna select it. So now that's there and I'm gonna save. Now you can also add in your tags. Now in this video, we're not gonna dive into how you discover what tags to do. We have a free training over at thinkmasterclass.com where we dive into how to determine what tags you need for your video to get the most amount of views. So then save.
And then when you have your tags, you're going to enter your tag. You're going to press return, and that's going to bring it up as a single tag. Then press save. And now you're ready to go. All you need to do now is change that unlisted to public when you're ready to publish your video, and your video is out in the public. All right, so you made it this far. I mean, wow, amazing that you're still here. And you might need to grab another drink or even grab some food if you've been with us this long. But before we get into this next set of questions, Sean, you've got something cool for us.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to shooting and editing and uploading your video, man, content is king. Like, it really matters for crushing it on YouTube, but marketing is queen and she runs the household. Like, when it comes down to it, mastering titles and thumbnails and descriptions and thinking about how to get your video out there so it actually gets views really is super important, and it goes beyond just the video production process. So if you haven't watched our free masterclass, you can actually see it at thinkmasterclass.com, but check out this quick spot and then we're gonna get into some questions.
Are you ready to start or grow your YouTube channel? Do you feel stuck and need help connecting the dots? Join this free web class where you'll learn the step-by-step playbook for YouTube success. We've helped thousands of purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like you grow their influence with video. Register today for this exclusive training at thinkmasterclass.com.
So Modestly Mia asks, when I upload a video from my phone on KineMaster to YouTube, the quality of the video goes down. How do I fix this issue? What's the best upload settings to make sure it doesn't lose quality? Now, here's the thing. Both on LumaFusion and KineMaster, you have the options when you're rendering out the video to set your export and also your resolution, your frame rate, and the video quality when you get that uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah, so you just wanna make sure that you're gonna wanna for sure do 1080p, and back in the shooting video, we actually shot in 4K. You may even wanna export in 4K resolution. You definitely wanna be on Wi-Fi when uploading. And then with that, you have those options to just choose a higher quality. So really your resolution and your video quality are a big deal. So experiment a little bit, and then when you finally get that dialed in, all your videos should look great on YouTube. Red Dread Redemption says, how can I set automatic tags and partial description info? I can deal with copy pasting the description info, but there has to be a better way to tackle the tags than what I'm doing. And so you actually are gonna need to get on a desktop computer to do this, because you're gonna wanna go into the default upload settings. So in your YouTube studio, you go to settings and you go upload defaults, and then you can actually have some basic description info that's always there on every upload, and even some base tags that are always there on every upload. So once those are set, even if you're just uploading for mobile, they will be there. And then another thing to keep in mind is that YouTube is always updating the app, and so you could look for this feature in the future. And then finally, you know, if you have your Google Docs system going, just as Heather taught, you can always open up your Google Docs and copy your tags, copy your description quick. That is the fastest way I know as well, because typing on your phone is a little bit slower. So if you can sit down and type on a desktop, get most of the bulk of your heavy lifting for tags and description done, then copy pasting is still a great system. And so there you go.
So Baby Ava asks, can I add clickable links to my videos with my phone? And the answer is yes, but bear with me because this is kind of a interesting way of saying it. So when you have links in your YouTube description, www to wherever isn't going to work. In YouTube description, you need to have HTTP or HTTPS://. So you wanna make sure that you have that set up correctly to make sure you have great links for things like affiliate marketing or sending people to your social websites or sending them off the platform to go to your website for further relationship with you.
Yeah, and if that term like affiliate marketing was new to you, that's actually one of our favorite ways to make money on YouTube, even if you're just starting out. And we actually have a video all about that. If you wanna check that out, we'll link it up on the YouTube card and put it in the resource guide.
Whew, we made it to the end of this mega video. If you're still here, leave a comment down in the comment section below. We wanna hear from you, the Think Media community. But now it's your turn. So grab your phone and start shooting some videos. We'll see you in the next one.
You got the love, I can count on. In the end, what I do. You got the love, I can count on.